Blog Talk Radio.
This is West Virginia Championship Wrestling Weekly Recap. Tonight we'll discuss today's television broadcast and the upcoming TV tapings.
Well, hello everybody. It's the first episode of this. We're going to give it a shot. It's Hojo here, the Mighty One, whatever, and I've got a special guest with me tonight. It's going to help me run through what all happened on the TV today. We're going to talk about some upcoming events and, just generally catch everybody up. There's been a lot happened since the last taping and just a lot of things that need to be touched upon. So without further ado, special guest, tell everybody who you are.
Hello, everybody. I am Benny Conley, and I am your guest today on the the new Blog Talk Radio show.
Yeah, that's right. This one's just like a weekly recap. We're going to try to do this every week and just go through and just a little discussion, a little discourse about the happenings. Because, Wednesdays is like a big media day for West Virginia Championship Wrestling. The TV airs, the regular television airs on the CW out of Bluefield on Wednesdays at noon. And then as soon as it goes off there, it gets popped right onto YouTube. So anybody that misses it, outside the local area, they can just pop right on YouTube and see and watch the TV there. 1 o'clock is when Spotlight comes on. Spotlight's a little different than the regular television. It focuses more on the happenings that happen between the tapings, because a lot of times things will escalate, and it's just with the production schedule to get the actual television product to the station, it's hard to keep up to date. Where Spotlight, where it's solely internet, we can get up until 20 minutes before it goes out. We can still be working on it, get more out there. And then of course, we got our media partners who will come on later tonight at 10 o'clock, the Nerdy 30s. Always a big part of our Wednesday here in the WVCW family. We're not always on there talking, but we're always in that chat room chatting away. So, anytime you get a chance to do that, just come on in, chat room there, and you can probably talk to 2 or 3 people from the company there. But, so Benny, did you get a chance to watch the episode today?
Yes, I watched it. It was pretty interesting, actually. We started things off with a champion versus champion match, television champion Kurt Taylor facing the junior champion, Sasaki.
Yeah, I think he kind of bamboozled her into that match. Sasaki she's on her own planet, man, and that's a great thing. Because I've been on my own planet for years, and it's great to be the ruler of your own planet. But he just he double talked her right into that match, and not that I think she was scared of him, but and it was a high quality match. It truly was 2 champions going out there. They went hard.
How often does that happen?
Very rarely do you see 2 champions go at it. I will inform viewers, listeners, that in the weeks coming, there will be another champion versus champion match that was filmed at the 4-H camp a couple weeks ago that will air on TV, and it is a must-see too. But more on that later. But, yeah, and it was a really good match, hard-fought, and then right there at the end, Kurt snuck around, grabbed a handful of her tights, and put her shoulders down 1, 2, 3, which, was great for Kurt Taylor and great for JT Dykes. And I guess we might as well mention his name. It's great for William Lavelle. He is the mastermind behind those 2 meat puppets, so we'll just go with that. But, and in the joy and the afterglow of the celebration, that's when the fun starts. Because nothing's more fun than the fun police showing up, and that's when Cody Green walked over and laid the law down on Kurt Taylor, and which brings us to something that's going to be dominating the TV for the next couple of weeks, really and truly, and something that's near and dear to both our hearts. Now, this kind of verges away because this is more what you're going to see on Spotlight, but we'll go ahead and get into it because this is this is what's really happening right now. Kurt Taylor is the first time ever that 2 singles titles were held in WVCW by one person. There is a bylaw in the company standard that says that one person can't hold 2 titles. So Now, it doesn't mean like somebody with a singles championship can hold the tag title. It's just you can't hold two singles titles at once, because we get rolling and you roll up on a big show, you're going to have to defend both titles on the same show, and that's just not fair to the champion. That's not fair to the challengers. That's not fair to the people. So that's why that rule was put in there. So what does Kurt Taylor do there, Benny Boy? Which title does he give up?
Kurt Taylor did what any young man would do, and he's seen that television title for the past few months, and I guess he got tired of looking at it, so he chose the new junior champion, the one he just now won, and he chose to give it up right there instead of waiting a week to think about it.
That's right. He just handed that belt right over to Cody Green. Told him to throw it in the garbage, actually, which is, I think was a slap at Daniel Halen, a former holder of the TV title, and his chief nemesis right now. And truly, the whole garbage thing, that kind of upsets me. But we'll get more into that later. But so now we have a situation. And this is where Spotlight comes in. Because of the situation, we were able to go ahead and on Spotlight Day, get everything announced and get everything out. There will be a TV tournament over the next 3 weeks of television on the regular Wednesday broadcasts. And let's just get the list out here. Now, first and foremost, this right here is a list of I'm not even sure how the board of directors came to the decision to make this list of entrants into the television title tournament. And we'll just go through. This is a little preview for next week's TV, because all 4 of these matches will be on the television next week. And you'll be able to watch them free next Wednesday at noon. Can't watch it on the regular broadcast, catch it on the YouTube. But here we go. Your 8 entrants into the West Virginia Championship Wrestling TV title tournament are Benny Conley, the man sitting on the other end of the speaker here with me. So, let's see. Now, Benny, how many times have you been TV champion now? 2, 3?
I've been television champion 3 times. And
that's right. You've held it 3 times there. And
I think I might have the record.
I think you might. And how many times did you defend that title against? Nah, never mind. We won't talk about me. Okay, then, and your first matchup is with the Arsenal. Arsenal, quality grappler. Still not quite sure who that is under the hood, but he does. He presents himself well in every outing. After that,
I can't recall who it is, but well,
yeah. The smell is familiar. That's my main thing. There's a familiar smell that comes off of him. I just can't quite place it. And then next we have the next matchup we have is it's the quarterfinals. Are J.C. Dykes Jr. versus Eric Sinclair. This right here is going to be a good matchup. In all honesty, about approximately, let me do my math in my head, divide the 4, stomp the foot 3 times. May of last year, J.C. Dykes was able to get the West Virginia title off of Eric Sinclair, who was champion at the time. So this is a bit of a rematch. I don't think they've actually faced in a singles match since then. So it's going to be a high-quality match right there. And really, 2 top contenders. They're always in the title hunt, so that's really great there. The next matchup it's going to be in the tournament. We have Dave Scott facing off against Elijah O'Malley. Elijah O'Malley has held the TV title before. Dave Scott's held titles everywhere. He's presently one half the tag team champions, along with Joey Morton, or I guess any member of the OSC that chooses to stand beside Dave can be, are going to be able to defend that title. But that's going to be another really good matchup. Those 2 have faced off before. I've seen that match before on many shows. It's going to be a really high quality match. And then, me. You got me versus the Silencer. I like the Silencer kid. He's a pretty good kid. He's about half batty, but he's a good kid still. And I think it's going to, it'll be a good match. It's going to be a good match. I really think that it's going to end about the same way it did 3 weeks ago on TV when I dropped him on his head. But, that's good. And truly, we're looking at 8 quality contenders there. It's really going to be a good thing. I wonder why Daniel Halen isn't included in the list, considering he was the last TV champion before Kurt Taylor. So
yeah, that's
I guess
been a
we'll
little
find out.
fishy to me too.
Yeah, well, I think we'll find out about that later. That'll be coming out later. But and there we go. We've talked about the tournament there, and I really think that's something to look forward to. It's going to have some really good stuff. I mean, the matches have took place. So me and Benny are kind of playing around here, and it's meant to be good. All 4 matches are great, folks. They are. I've participated in one, watched the other 3. All of them were great. The main reason, we got to try to keep timeline continuity and stuff, but next TV taping, August 10th, there's going to be something very special that happens there. Me and J.C. Dykes are going to face off at a Falls Count Anywhere street fight. Now, if you were at the tapings last time, you know what's going on. If you weren't, you just got to wait and see it. You got to show up at the Rec Center August 10th, downtown, right there in Princeton, right before you get to the hospital. It's a $6 ticket. It's well worth your effort. You're going to see a fine night of quality wrestling, and then at the end of the night, you're going to see me and J.C. Dykes try to kill each other. Quite literally.
And if you show up, you're not going to be caught behind. You're going to catch back up and see what all's going on.
Yes. You show up to the live tapings, you get pushed right to the head of the class, and especially this time, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt on the Facebook. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt on different people's Facebook, on the TV page Facebook. Heck, I think I even saw something on Twitter. If there was still a MySpace around, they'd be talking about it there and in the Yahoo chat rooms. But there's going to be a special session. When the doors open at 7, they're going right into it. The tapings will start probably at 7:30 like usual. But when the doors open, there's going to be a question and answer session. There's been a lot of fishies going around about different things that might be happening. Namely, there's some big questions raised about this William Lavelle cat that none of us seem to have met except for CC and Kurt. I mean, I don't know him, so I don't know. But I don't know what he would be. And then we've got this Andrew Gibson situation where we've got fans trying to tell us that Andrew's in cahoots with JC. That Andrew's in
he
cahoots
rests every
with
single one of his matches.
That's chance and luck of the draw. Because I've had Andrew ref my matches, and I've also had Cody. Majority of my matches, I end up with Cody Green. And I don't know if that's whoever's in charge trying to match up somebody, getting the physical matchups. That way you have a bigger referee with bigger wrestlers so that, they can, handle it a little better. Because, especially when it was me and Sinclair going with the Bunkhouse Boys, you had to have a big ref in there because there's a lot of meat when the 4 of us are there dancing around in the ring. And, I don't know. I hold Andrew to a higher standard than to think that he would just do something for money or promises. I mean, I really think that's neither here nor there. But let's get on back. I'm rambling all over the place here. Back to the TV. We're kind of trying to recap it here. So after the whole shenanigans with the belts that led to the tournament that will begin airing next week, and you'll be able to basically see the conclusion of the next TV taping, we had JC basically tell Randy Hicks that William Lavelle has made it to where he can have a match anytime he wants, and he wanted the match right then and there. Now, don't ask me how that happens. I know personally, anytime I want a match, I go and I talk to the board. I send a message to the board of directors, and they comply. They give me what I want, because I don't request a lot. I don't ask for a lot. But just to stand there and say, hey, I want a match, and I want it right now, and your format, be damned. I don't care what you got planned. I want it right now. That's a bit bratish, if you ask me. But that's JC. JC is a bit of a brat. But and I guess the power of Lavelle shined through because Randy Hicks went in the back and grabbed the first available body, and it was in the form of Stephen Michaels.
The big return of
JC
Stephen Michaels.
the return of Stephen Michaels after the parking lot beatdown. I mean, that in retrospect, we found out that JC was paid by William Lavelle to beat down Mikey in a parking lot. Why? If you're going to attack somebody in a parking lot, why Mikey? Why Stephen Michaels? I mean, I call Stephen Mikey. I mean, he reminds me of the kid in the commercial for Life cereal. You know, Mikey don't like anything. Oh, Mikey likes it. That's Mikey. I mean, Stephen Michaels just, it's, if you have to go. Yeah, why? I mean, if the leader of your army has to attack a lame dog, what's that say about your army? Not much. But anyway, they go at it.
Why don't you just pick on somebody who's on size?
Yeah, really. And aptitude. I mean, nothing against Mikey. Mikey has got the heart of a champion. It's just he doesn't have the experience yet to understand all the nuances and everything. And it gets him in trouble sometimes. I mean, we saw him get his head shaved because he won a title. And he just took it like a man. And, you know, and Mikey is all man. It's just, I don't know. But, you know, JC picked up the Duke Air, and none of us were surprised. I don't think any of us saw Mikey coming back off of an injury. You know, Stephen Michaels coming off that injury, being able to just go out there, and if he had one, it would have been short force of will. But I really don't look for that to end anytime soon. I think Stephen Michaels has his sights set on JC in particular and the whole Lavelle movement in general, because he has been all over the internet. He has been on the phone. I've heard him call into a couple of the podcasts that other people do, and all he wants to talk about is how he's going to take out Lavelle's army. Him and Sinclair are starting to work together. They got Halen coming in on it too. It's, you know, my main concern right now.
The Outlaw Revolution.
Yeah, the Outlaw Revolution. I'm not going with that. That is what it is. All I know is I've got my sights set on one man. I've got a bullseye right between J.C. Dyke's head, and when I hit that bullseye, his head may come flying off. But after that, the next matchup we saw on the TV was the Bandit. The Bandit came out and he faced Connor Long. Now, first of all, Bandit had to talk on the microphone a little bit because that's, you know, that's how the bunkhouse boys are. They like to flap them jaws. They got big jaws. You got to let them flap. And he was talking about how somebody had threatened to fine them if one of them didn't make an appearance. Well, I mean, of the three of them, he's the only one we saw because Big Dave House, we ran him to the desk after Miracle on the Mountain. So I guess the desk was a bit much for him. He must have got stressed out a little bit, that or he needed another double cheeseburger. He wasn't there. Big Willie, MIA. I don't know what it is. I think he may have went to the submarine races for all I know. But and we ended up with, we got Bandit with the, what's a good adjective for Diamond? I refuse to say lovely, but with Diamond. And he's out there and he says, you know, I got to have a match, send me a body. Once again, he can say, send me a body, and they send him a body, just like JC. And his body is Connor Long, and he took the measure of Connor, and pretty well, he didn't measure up too well.
Yeah, and he beat that poor boy to death.
Oh, I know he did. But what else do you expect from Bandit? Then we got to the main event of the night. We had a little promo from one team in it. It was a 6-man tag team match. I know in this day and age it doesn't seem as special. But I can remember when I was a youngster watching wrestling, you didn't have a 6-man tag all the time. And even now WVCW doesn't have them a lot. It's a true special event. It's like about a royal. It's anything. It's a truly a special event. And this was a really good. We got to see a team. We got to see Jake Jacobs, which is a good-looking young kid. He was in the Battle Royal at Miracle on the Mountain 3. Yeah, and he was referred to the Kid in Orange because we didn't know who he was, but he kept your attention. Look at him. He's got a good look to him. Good potential there. I got to see a little bit more of him to know what he's going to be, but
that's
kid.
somebody I'm definitely going to have my eye on within the next couple of years.
Yeah,
WVCW.
you better, because I mean, you are like the top of the list of the young lions, and all them young ones are all shooting for you first. So you got to keep an eye on that. And then he was tagging with his partners were Dave Scott, which once again, much like when we was talking about the tournament, Dave Scott, top all-around talent. He's right there at the top of the power rankings constantly, always in championship contention. And then Mike McCabe. Now, a lot of people, this was actually Mikey McCabe's first match in WVCW, or actually in the ring that we have, or anything, in probably 4 or 5 years. Mikey, good kid, always been around. He helps us. He refs out. He refed some, and he wanted to get back in the ring, and he wanted to try it again. So he went out there, and he was in this 6-man. Held his own well. The only problem with Dave Scott, Jake Jacobs, and Mike McCabe was they're facing off against the team of the Arsenal, which we've already discussed. I mean, he's a wily veteran. We're not sure who it is under the hood, but we know the smell. Elijah O'Malley, once again, he's in the tournament. Another former TV champion. I think he may have held the tag titles in one of the different variations there. I know he's a former champion in other promotions. And Jack Miller. Now, if you don't know who Jack Miller is, figure it out. I love Jack Miller. Jack Miller's a great cat, good person. He's got the heart of a saint. Does anything, will take his shirt off his back to give it to somebody. And add on to that, Jack is a top-notch wrestler. And truly, nobody in that crowd knew Jack was coming. And Jack popped out, and it blew up, because Jack's like a cicada. He shows up when he shows up. We don't know when he's coming, but when he does, it's a good thing. So 6-man match goes good action all the way through. Ends up with a triple pin, which you don't see all the time. Poor Mike Mayhem, referee, he's sitting there having to count with both hands. I think he might even kick the foot on there to get the 3 count on all 3 of them. But that went well. I mean, and it was good quality stuff. Now, you're thinking to yourself, okay, now they've done spent 20 minutes talking about TV in this tournament, and they mentioned Spotlight, but what else happened on Spotlight? Do I need to go check it out? Yes, you need to go check out Spotlight. Spotlight this week, not only do we have a recap of the Kurt and Sith match, along with the announcing of the title tournament and this and that and the other, it also has something that is a rarity. It has the match the last time that my shoulders were pinned in a WVCW ring.
The 5th week of WVCW TV.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. The episode that aired today was episode 135. The episode that my shoulders were pinned to the mat in was episode 5. So we're looking over 2 years ago, almost 2.5. So we flash back to episode 5. I had a little more hair on top and a little less in the back. JC was still wearing his pajama pants instead of the shorty shorts. We go at it. You'll see. It's not something that, JC likes to brag about the fact that he was the last man to pin me here, but it's, you get a little help from a dog, it don't really count that much. And then, of course, the final, the main event, we did a replay from a couple weeks back when was Baron Bullard versus Johnny Smooth. Now, neither one of these cats has been around that much. Both of them are comers. I'm telling you, both of them are going to come, and they're pushing hard, and they're going to move up the ranks. Baron Bullard is the real deal. Johnny Smooth, he's young, but he's the real deal. Both of them are training at George South's camp down in Charlotte. Get down there, top-notch training. I wish I could have been trained by George. I really do. I think I could have went a lot farther with this. I could have got to where I'm at now even quicker, just because he is a top-notch trainer. But free plug for George there. But both of them, top good match, real good hard-hitting match. Now, got a few minutes left. Let's talk about the August 10th again. Just, right out there again. Falls County Anywhere Street Fight, me, J.C. Dykes. It's going to be a war. We were told it wasn't allowed to happen. We were told we were not allowed to be in the ring together, and most likely we would have never been if they'd been paying attention and would not have put us in the same tournament. So because the board of directors just doesn't feel that it's safe, because we had a dog collar match a few years back, and the ring basically got tore up. It's just, we tore up buildings, we tore up towns, we tore up counties. It's not safe. But other big news just announced. We got the email from the BOD there earlier. George South will be in the house on August the 10th. He's making his comeback. He missed last month. He's coming back again. I'm sure him and Sinclair are going to be doing something to try to get that Lavelle Army. I mean, I really look forward to seeing Daniel Halen and Stephen Michaels get to learn a little something. Sit at the learning tree that is George South and let him teach them just a little bit about how to take down an army, because I know he knows how to do it. And the other big news about George South. Now, Benny, I've been dominating this, and I'm sorry, but you were there last year. You know as much as I do. We love going to the county. We all love going to the county. And we're going back to the county again this September. We're going to war. It's the Fall Festival. And if it's the Fall Festival, it's war, and it's WVCW. What is it, Benny?
It's hot. It's
Fall
the
Brawl.
thing.
It's great. Last year, I would imagine we never got a head count because it's really hard to count how many people are there on the street. But you can't move for 3 blocks because there's so many people gathered around watching. That tells you got a crowd, and we always do. And they're livid. They love the wrestling, and we love going down there and giving it to them. And the big announcement. Announcements are coming slow from Fall Brawl. We're not sure what's going to happen, who's going to be facing who yet. But George South will be making his return to the county. It's the first time George has been to the county in 20 years, since when George and the Italian Stallion were running the old PWF, Professional Wrestling Federation, that started so many of the West Virginia legends that you know now. PWF is where Scotty McKeever started. Joey Morton was there. Mark Canterbury, a lot of you know him as Henry Godwin. He started there. Big Mo, Big Vis, Bo and Mabel, they started there. K-Crush, what's K-Crush now? What's his name? Truth Killings. Ron the Truth Killings, y'all know who I'm talking about. He started there. Heck, the Hardy Boys even came in and out of the PWF era at the tail end. So, George South, first time in 20 years, coming back into war. It's hard to tell who he's going to be facing. I got a feeling he may actually be defending that EWA world title that he holds, Exodus Wrestling Alliance title. We'll have to wait and see. Paperwork hasn't been completed there. But the war show, the beauty of it is, folks, if you can get to war, you can see the show. Free show. We set up on the street. We got a lovely little stage there that we run sound off of. Got the ring set up, railroad tracks on the hills. As long as that train at 7:45's whistle ain't too loud, you can hear it, everything, and see everything great. And we love going to war. That's all there is to it. It's the only time you'll ever hear me say I love going to war. And that's when I'm talking about War, West Virginia, September 13th, the day before the taping. The TV taping in September will be the next day, September 14th, at the Rec Center in Princeton. And I think somebody has informed me that one's going to be called the Aftermath at this point. So I'm not sure if it's the aftermath of what's going to happen at this taping or the aftermath of what's going to happen at Fall Brawl or a combination of the two. But a big month in September. That's 2 big nights. It's going to be a little tour. It's going to work out great. So, Benny, we got a little over a minute left here. Anything that you want to talk about? Anything that's been eating at you? Like
where is Dave
biggest
Lynch?
Question. Where's Dave Lynch? David, if you have to ask where Dave is, you don't know Dave. Dave has got the gypsy's heart. He's out there. He's traveling. And don't worry, Benny. David may not have been there with you this past month. I got a feeling he's going to show up this month. And he's probably going to sing you a song, teach you a lesson, and get you pointed back in the right direction. Because I'll tell you what, I think that you and him have got a good shot of getting those tag team titles back if you can just get in the ring with the people. I really do. I'll never find fault with either one of you. You're like a son to me, Benny, and David's like a brother. I love you both, and I think that the two of you together, you're going to push right through. get that title. So I guess I had a woman stick her head in my ear and tell me we got about 10 seconds. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully we'll get to do this again next week, and I hope you enjoyed it. Just let us know. Send a message to the TV page, Facebook, /WVCW TV. Let us know what you thought. Until next week, this is Hojo.
And Benny Conley. See you later.
We're signing off. Talk at you later.